However, I'm guessing if you found this video, you understand more than not, or perhaps it is just your time to learn. Either way, there's more than one version, or levels within levels. For example, as a child, you went through all these stages before puberty. How well you did, only the fool can say for sure. But I am guessing that you have a gut feeling about your full game score. All these steps of childhood, which are mirrored in the Zodiac, the Tree of Life, AA, or the tarot cards, are the basic or the training version of the game. In fact, once you reach a certain point in sexual and physical development or adulthood, the fool zeroes out your score. In other words, you have won. You are now the fool. Sadly, you see all the adults playing the game, and you give up your well-earned fool status to play the next version of the game. And your score, or the game, starts over. Or rather, it starts on a new level of levels. Each level has as many levels as its number allows. Level 1 has 1 level. Level 2 has 2 levels. While on level 9 has 9 levels. Think of 9 levels of hell, the 9 realms of man. If we look at music, the white keys, the primal 7 notes of the human condition, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Scorpio, or the magician, high priestess, empress, lover, twice for the E and the F, the male and the female, and lastly the G, strength. We see or hear the 7 primal or basic states of mankind. I am, I have, I communicate, I feel, I create, I serve, I control. This is one of the reasons there are 7 main notes and then 5, or doubled as 10, odd notes or sharps or flats, better known as the black keys. The black keys are the keys beyond simple thoughts of humans. The first black key is A sharp, B flat, which represents the law of man, of the Libra, the only zodiac sign that is not flesh and bone, the only one that is a machine, a man-made machine. In music, it falls between I am, the primal male, A, and I have, the primal female, B. In the zodiac, the law of man, the 7, is between the Virgin and the Scorpion, or the dragon. In the tarot, it falls between the lovers and strength. There is a logical reason for this. The laws of man stand between man, woman, and happiness. The Chariot should never be confused with universal justice. The laws of man are based in the minds of man, therefore must be contained within the confines of mankind. At this point, all 3 methods, music, the zodiac, and the tarot, flow perfectly after all the issues of sex have been sorted out. The top level in the Fool's game, devoted to confusing the average player of the game, or the basic levels of man, is level 9. The top level of basic man, or man, is the number 9, or the Hermit, or Sagittarius, or C sharp D flat. the philosophies of man, the all-seeing eye of the Freemason, the eye that blinds, the vortex of 9, and all the power given to the number 9, it is easy to see why so many refuse to look past the light of enlightenment. The hermit, the wizard, the fully realized seeker is a player of the game which has mastered or passed the first 8 levels. The hermit holds the light of enlightenment for those seeking a higher level in the fool's game. The number of average players reaching this level on any level is far less than those with a multi-pass to level 6. The hermit is above the law and simple happiness of strength of sex and love. It is on level 9, where many of the top players will tell you the game truly starts. Level 9 is a level, the jello sheep of the simple-minded levels of 1, 2, and 3 refuse to even consider. It involves too much thinking, study, and loneliness to even pursue. There is no free pass to level 6 or the riches of 8 to be found in the level of 9. Only mysteries the average has no time for. Those born into families of the 8 are often the only ones to make it to level 9. However, level 9 is not based in flesh or material riches, and therefore a simple 1 can jump to 9 with logical ease without having to stop at 2 through 7. The 1 only needs strength or 8 to commit to thought to reach a lower level of 9. 2. The wisdom guarded by the maiden and the law of man converge to create the philosophy of man, or 9. This naturally works better with temperance as the 7th and not the chariot, but things have changed over time. Naturally, the mother or the 3 only needs love or the lovers or the 6 to reach the deepest thoughts of man, and the reason for the 3-6-9 combination. 3 also has another way to reach 9, through the tri-unity of being a woman. The 3 stages of womanhood: maiden, mother, crone. 3 times 3 is 9. This means only a crone can reach 9 with ease. 4 and 5 also make 9. The emperor with the hierophant. The wealthy man and the holy man combined can reach a level of the hermit, the wizard, but only if they work together for something neither one of them cares to attempt. Both have no need for conflicting thoughts, as wild thoughts of philosophy would only undermine their own authority. Most players on level 8 or lower, the dirty old man on the mountaintop holds no secrets worth knowing to them. 9 is another one of the fool's greatest traps. Philosophy is nothing but contradictions, wild thoughts, and batshit crazy concepts full of madmen and known perverts. Those who dare challenge the system with thought. It is only on level 9 that the fool's game can only begin to be fully contemplated. Only through level 9 is it possible to see that there is far more to life, or the fool's game, than just levels 1 through 8. It is at level 9 the possibilities of the game are revealed to the player. This is why level 9 is so important to the game. Level 9 is also a trap. Thoughts can imprison a player in seconds, regardless of the level. Too much belief in a single thought could doom a player for a lifetime. Too little thought and a player will never gain the skills needed to play the rest of the fool's game. It is at level 9 where the first hint that the goal might possibly be to return to being a fool. The hermit, the wizard, is on the mountaintop, which looms over the hill of the fool, and yet is merely a bump on the fool's hill. The vast amount of time one can spend on level 9 mental masturbating is rather absurd. The hermit is a tricky bastard who was tricked into holding the light of enlightenment for others to seek, and he can only let go of it or move on once someone has taken his light of enlightenment, depending on which level of level 9 the hermit is on will factor in how long the hermit must hold the light of enlightenment until another seeker comes along. If on a low level of 9, the wait will not be long, and often the light of enlightenment they are holding is a false light of enlightenment, and therefore not truly a burden. It is only on the higher levels of 9 that the light of enlightenment is pure and true light of enlightenment. The downside, the hermit, the wizard, the player, might be stuck on that cold, windy mountaintop for decades, holding that light out for the very, very few seekers which might possibly attempt such a dangerous climb. Thought is often linked with madness, insanity, and hell, as in the 9 levels of hell. Hell is other people's thoughts. 9 lies, 9 lies, if 6 was 9. From a truther's perspective, level 9 is the source of countless things. It is here that the tricks of those in control of 7, or the laws of man, can be seen for the lies which they are. Of course, this light of truth depends on the level of 9 a player is playing. Beyond level 9, the fool's game is not based in simple desires of the average level 3 player. Therefore, the reason the rest of the game is only played by those committed to seeking the final question, which, like Dorothy, they already know but have forgotten to remember. One could argue everything beyond 9 is out of the realm of man, and therefore impossible to comprehend, let alone obtain, and the one will go on seeking to be the ultimate one yet again, leaving that crazy old man on the mountaintop behind, only to find himself seeking the hermit that is him over and over again, until he accepts the light of enlightenment, where he'll be trapped until the next player takes that life-challenging hike up the cold, windy mountainside at night. 10 is often dismissed by the mathematician as just the second round of the 1. But this is anything but the case. 10 is the female level of 9. 9 is man, while the female is 10. 10 is perfection, something man can never be. The vortex of 9 works just as well with the temple of 10. It is all part of the triunity of the duality of the fool's game. Man is 1, while woman is 10. Balance. The major difference is the fool's 0. The 10th card, the Wheel of Fortune, Fate, the wheel in the sky, the Marsha. On the piano keyboard, 10 is located between Delta, the doorway, or feelings, and adult sexual male of E. It is feelings sharp, man flat. The one, the man, needs all the thoughts that a man can muster to reach level 10. The one, the man, needs all the thoughts of the hermit can muster to reach level 10. 10 is the level of mastery. One has to master the other 9 to reach 10 with ease, or to have the wheel of fate spin favorably in one's favor, while the 2, the maiden, the high priestess, only needs strength to see the wheel in the sky. 3, the empress, needs the chariot, the seat of force or power, or the laws of man to reach the wheel of fortune. Once again, temperance works better. The wealth of man needs love or happiness to reach the wheel of fortune. It takes 2 holy men to reach the number 10. In the zodiac, the 10th place belongs to the Capricorn, a female sign, which was originally a bug before being changed to a goat-headed sea serpent. It is said to represent Jesus and the serpent or the dark star. Absolute duality. One half likes solid and very dry land, while the other half requires the sea. The 10th level is a level of the duality of womankind, which happens when the 1 made the 2 a 3, or the Gemini twins, Cain and Abel, were born. It was fought over in the 6th level and settled in the 7th level. The Wheel of Fortune is built on the tri-unity of the duality. Many numerologists foolishly reduce 10 to 1 after disregarding the fool's 0. This is the main reason mathematicians seldom make it past level 9. 10 is not simply reduced to 1. It is 10, the 1 with the fool's 0. In many ways, the fool's game is pretty much over for most players that make it this far. 10 is perfection. They know life is a fool's game, but they feel they have accepted the fate the Wheel of Fortune has provided them, and there is no reason to seek further. What they see as a Wheel of Fortune is like everything in the fool's game, very subjective. One man's Wheel of Fortune is another man's roulette wheel from hell. The great wheel in the sky keeps spinning like the fool's roulette wheel, just waiting for those to gamble on level 10. 10 is a bit like 6. It is very hard to stay on level 10 for very long without getting burned. And like level 6, how one reaches 10 is often by pure luck of the game. Many spend their entire game just trying to get back to level 10, or to even reach level 10 on any level. Due to the difficulty in success in level 10, many players avoid the Wheel of Fate or Fortune altogether. Some players refuse to play such an obvious fixed game and have little desire to reach 10 or return to it, while for others, 10 is like 6 and worth all the effort. It is when we reach F sharp or G flat that we leave the safety of the known world to reach that spinal tap destination of 11, or the universe, the home of Aquarius, the oddest of the flesh-based gods in the zodiac. Often seen as gay, the water bearer is more of an artist than a homosexual. He's a lover of music and wine, the life of the party, the wild one that is out of this world, that is made up of 2 ones, or the pillars of life. The same pillars the high priestess guards and the Hierophant exploits for earthly power and wealth. In the tarot, 11 or justice, which should never be confused with the law of man or level 7, is cosmic justice, which is rendered by the 11 or the universe or Aquarius. Justice does not merely sit between the sacred pillars of the game, but is the gatekeeper. Only those deemed worthy are allowed to pass through the gate. Universal justice is that unseen hand of the gods which works in very mysterious ways to the average player. Justice can be slow in coming or be so quick it's often called instant karma. Those which keep the lies of 9 have a great love for level 11. Thus, the reason for all the 11 worship, seen in Psyop's theater of the bullies of 9. They are trying to get through the gate through odd offerings, or simply know that the real power of numbers lays beyond 9. The importance of level 11 cannot be stressed enough for those ones seeking to get through the gate. Of course, just because one makes it through the gate of 11 does not mean they simply pass through to level 12. The universe is often seen as too big to comprehend, let alone transverse. This is one of the most clever tricks the fool has placed in his game. It is truly a simply brilliant design. At this point, most players of the game have given up on the fool's game and are happy to go to their graves, never getting past the gate of 11. The seeker, the truther, the thinker's thinker, and the one that wants to at least attempt to beat or win or get farther than most in the fool's game has to pass through the gate. Although this threshold is hard to define, as is the nature of 11, the universe, the heavens, the other side. It is on level 11 that mortals can attempt to communicate with the other side, or even the fool himself. The duality of one, or the doubling or mirroring of one, is easy to see in 11. Musician and the magician are very alike, and often one is both, or 11. The universal chord or note is F sharp G flat. Female sharp, happiness flat. It is the one I am, and the perfection of 10 I control, the magician and the wheel of fortune, which equals 11. 2 is at odds with 11 to reach it. She has to give up her earthly wisdom to the thoughts of man to reach 11. However, there is an easy way for the 2 to get past the gate, but we'll get to that later. The Empress, the Mother, the 3 only needs strength to unlock the secrets of the universe. Childbirth requires the kind of strength needed to give birth to the universe, or life, and thus the reason the Mother, or the 3, has a very easy, albeit painful link to the heavens, reached through childbirth. One of the hardest ways to reach the heavens is through wealth and the law of man, or the 4th and the 7th. The emperor will need the laws of man to line up just right for him to pass through the gates of 11. An even harder way through the gate of 11 is through 5 and 6. The holy man and love. This is why the holy man tends to stay away from 11 and seek 12 instead. 11 levels of 11 quickly lead to 11 times 11, or 121, which reads the same way either way. What is in the middle of the 11 found in 121 but the 2? Is the 2, just like the high priestess is between the 2 pillars. It is the key to 11, or the secrets which the 2 is guarding but is unaware of. It is the thing she gives the 1 to become the 3, thus giving up her secret, while the 1 takes this transformation or secret from the 2, or his luck on the wheel of fortune, and will unlock the heavens, the 11 or the 2. Between the heavens and earth is the ladder to nowhere, or faith. It is a bridge between the 2 worlds. George Michael's song, Faith, is in the chord of faith. Happiness sharp, and I am flat. 12 is the sign of Pisces, I believe, or I faith. There are 2 fish representing 12 fish, or a school of fish. The Pisces can swim in the waters above and the waters below, and is linked, or the ladder between the 2 realms of existence, this one and that one. Like 10 and 11, 12 should never be reduced or represented as 3. The logic for this is overwhelming and completely obvious. The 12 zodiac, 12 on a jury, 12 in a dozen, 12 steps, 12 notes, 12 grades, 12 months, 12 hours on the face of a clock, and even the word 12 is a clue. Like 11, it is not like the rest of the numbers between 10 and 20, or the teens. 11 and 12 have special names for a reason. Therefore, should never be reduced to 2 or 3, although they are each linked with each number respectfully. In the tarot, the ladder to nowhere, or faith, in the fool's game is represented by the hangman. The hangman is not a criminal, but is guilty of wanting to know the greater mysteries of 11 and beyond, and has to pay the price for such wisdom and power. Level 12 is not a joyride. It is a walk with the gods, and therefore those on the other side of the gate of 11 will not believe any damn word those on level 12 speak about the truth and all the false lights of enlightenment in the fool's game. One needs the universe or cosmic justice on his side to reach faith. This is why if the magician or the 1 is going to reach 12, they need 11 to get there. This is why a 1 seeking faith is always questioning the universe, the elements, as he needs the universe to understand the heavens, or 12. 1 can also use 2 to make 12, which is the base logic of 6 or love. If a 2 is without or chooses to play without a 1 as a partner, a 2 has an easy route of reaching 12 alone than a single 2-less 1 does. Of course, this is a chance-driven way of reaching the heavens through the wheel of fortune, the wheel of fate, or the wheel in the sky, the Martia. 2 can also find 2 6s, or lovers, to find faith or belief in the fool's game. Not the normal route, but if the fool's game has one thing, it has many paths in which to wander down. 3 has 2 options to reach 12. The Empress can get to the level of faith via the power of the Hermit. And let's face it, most mothers do not want to climb up a cold mountain at night within days of childbirth. Or a player can see it as the 4 seasons of the year. The spring is the maiden, the summer is the mother, the fall is the crone, and Old Man Winter is the hermit. The 3, or the Empress, can reach 12 by seeking the 4 time and time and time again. But this is just another version of the 4 seasons. Old Man Winter, or the Emperor, the 4, can reach faith, or 12, through strength. This is why many man has found strength in their faith. Many can only get there with it. The Hierophant, or the holy man, has the worst route to reach 12, or faith. The holy man needs the law of man, the machine, to reach 12, or find his faith. Once again, we see 5, the symbol of the self-righteous man, has a hard time reaching certain levels. The laws of man need to be blessed by the church, or the holy man to be called the law of God, or God's law. Since the 2 often fight, very little of man's law and the holy man's commandments ever reach level 12. Since most players never venture past level 6, those rulers of 9, the ones whose strength is based in lies, do not need 5 and 7 to reach 12. Love only needs love to reach 12. This is why the bond between 2 purely devoted lovers is the definition of faith, and why marriage is a vow or a covenant the lovers make with the gods, or the fool's game. This vow or covenant gains a player certain powers or skills they might not have gotten any other way. This might help the average level 3 player reach a level 3 of 3. You truly have to like the logic behind love, only needing love to find faith or the 12. It's one of the charms of the fool's game. It is built on magical logic, which is simple in its complexity. It is also the logic behind 1 and 2 being 12. Love. 12 is the turning point in the fool's game. This logic is basic. It's based on the 12 notes in music and the 12 zodiac of the heavens. We have ventured from 1 to 12, A to G sharp, I am to I faith. In the zodiac, this represents 84 years of an average player's life, 7 years in each sign or note. 12 is the most magical number that the liars of 9 will never dare to mention. Sure, they throw 11 around, but they like to hold out on the power of 12, or faith, the ladder between 2 realms. 12 is the real key to the universe. Oddly, one has to get past the 11, or the universe, the gate, to enter level 12. 12, not 9, is the real ruler of numbers. The Vesica Piscis, the center of everything, is based in 12, or 153, which the square root of is 12.369, or all the key numbers to the fool's game. The first 9 numbers, or tarot cards, or zodiac signs, represent the top triangle of the light of enlightenment. The 9, or the hermit, is holding out for the foolish seeker. The bottom half represents 10, 11, and 12, or the parts of this game which are outside the basic nine of man. This is what the hangman is seeking by his self-torture, or road to enlightenment. The same light he was forced to hold as a hermit. But this time the light is in his mind, and he does not care to light the way for anyone. In fact, he is not in the position to help anyone anymore. He is lost in thought, which is beyond 9, 10, and 11. It is here many truthers end up suffering forever. They have seen through the lies of man or 9. They have played the wheel of fortune enough to have won big and lost twice as hard. They have made it past the gate of 11 and now are suffering with the knowledge they have acquired. They wish to return to the safety of 3, the pleasure of 6, and long to be the 1. But they know these are the traps the fool has set. The hangman is in a state of transformation. This is why it is the last stage of childhood development. It is the 12th step. It is the point right before a child becomes an adult, and the last stage in the first half of the game. The easy side, the down the river, the flow. On a grander scale of life, birth to death, one could argue that this is all there is to the fool's game, and those dwelling on level 3 will gladly accept this verdict. Faith in God is often touted as the end all in the fool's game. Perhaps they are right. Maybe a strong faith in 12 is all that is required for a fantastic life in the fool's game. But the hangman would, if he could, tell you to wait, that there is more to the story. Just let him think for a while.